here is video 2, which was all the joint articulations. So we'll start with the neck. Again, we can break it down in so many different ways, but I think the way I broke it down yesterday was a little bit like this. Chin comes all the way down to your sternum. Keep your chin on your collarbone as you rotate it to look to the shoulder tip. And rotate it to look to the shoulder tip. Then we put the slight side bend in, so to the shoulder tip, and then we took the ear into the back pocket. Stretch all of this to the shoulder tip, all the way around, back pocket. And repeat it. Then we did the chickens. So the chickens were looking straight forwards, forward, back, forwards. Pull the chin all the way back, lengthen all of this stuff at the back. Then we did the same thing looking down. So forwards, back, forwards, back. Good. You can rotate your head left, then rotate your head right, left, and right. And then we can side bend as well. Side bend left, side bend right. Then we moved into the shoulder blades. So the shoulder blades, we did a circle. So the shoulders came up, they went backwards, they went down, they pushed forwards, up, backwards, down, forwards, then the other way. So we went backwards, up, forwards, down, backwards, up, forwards, down. 3 circuits of those. Then we went up into the actual shoulder joints, glenohumeral joints. It looked like this. Thumbs pointed up, palms facing in. Reach the arm stays straight, the neck stays straight so it doesn't side bend. Elbows straight, and don't let the shoulders shrug. And there'll be a point where it stops. Then you rotate internally, your knuckles rotate all the way in. And then you keep going backwards without rotating your spine or side bending your spine. Keep going backwards as you continue to rotate your arm inwards, so that by the time it comes down, oops, move out to our skeleton, to your side, your knuckles are facing in. Then we went backwards, so don't let your spine collapse, elbow stays straight. When you run out of space, rotate that palm all the way round. So by the time it comes up to your ear, the palm is facing in. It takes a few times to get the grip of the arms, but if we had a wristwatch on, you come up as far as possible, then rotate the wristwatch in towards your ear. Keep rotating around, the wristwatch ends up pointing down towards the floor, and then in towards your hip, reverse around the other way. Oops. 3 of those, same on the other side. Bum, elbow straight, rotate wristwatch, keep it going all the way round. Wristwatch faces the inside of your thigh, rotate all the way up. Wristwatch facing out. 2 or 3 of those, and we did figure of 8s. So this time we let the body follow, sideways figure of 8s. And you'll find your hips probably want to move as well. God, keep hitting that bike, that's all good. Then we did the other figure of 8. And then repeat it on the other side, upside down. And then we went up to over the top. Made you got a lasso. Beautiful. From there we went into the spine. What I didn't do was the elbows actually, but I'll teach you the elbows now. If you place one hand just on the inside of your elbow here, I don't want your bicep to move, so this is just going to block it. Then you're going to rotate your palm as far as it will go without the whole shoulder moving. Then you curl it up, you rotate it all the way down, fully straighten it out, all the way up, bend the elbow all the way in, fully to the floor, same on the other side. And you can do the same thing with wrists. So wrists are quite cool. Again, we don't want the forearm to move on this one. It is just the wrist joint. So you hold on to the forearm here to make sure it's not moving. Keep your arm, your hand completely flat, so it's not just your fingers moving. You flex up, you go out, you drop down, you go in. So it's a little circle of the wrist. Again, I'll do 3 one way, 3 the other. So that palm is always horizontal with the ceiling. Same on the other hand. Then we did spine. So to start with, we just did a gross movement where we flexed over, softening the knees. We rotated to the left. We came up. And we repeated on the other side. So you've got this kind of lovely rotation movement like so. And the other way. This is probably more for the lower back, but there's a bit of upper back in there as well. Then we took it into the chest punch. So someone's pushed you in the chest, your upper back sags, then you bring that sternum back forwards and slightly up towards your chin to extend all that spine. So it drops back and up, back, and all the time I'm just looking straight forwards. My eyes aren't moving from the horizon. Breath-wise, breathe out as you go back, breathe in as you come forwards. So that was the upper chest. What have we got after that? Went into the hips, didn't we? So you imagine you've got a stick. And that stick is in line with your balanced leg. If you need to hold on to something like a chair, you can for this one. Imagine that foot touching the stick. So to start with, we just slid it up, slid it down. For 3 of those, the back is straight, the supporting leg is straight. Nothing moves apart from that hip. Then we open the gate, so we came up, pelvis stays facing forwards, the gate opens, the gate closes, it slides down. We did 3 of those. And then we do exactly the same on the other side. And I think we finished with knees and feet, if my memory serves me right. So, with the feet, we made sure that the heel was on the floor. When we pointed the toe, it doesn't quite touch the floor, which gives it enough room for you to work on that pointing motion. We took our hands, we held onto the shins because we don't want the shins to be moving, and we started with pointing the toe down. We rotated that foot inwards, pulled the toes up towards the shin, rotated it outwards, making sure nothing is moving under your hand. It's just all in that ankle joint. And we did it the other way as well. Nice and slow, nice and controlled. Enjoying the little stuttery bits, or the bit your body doesn't like to go into. Repeat on the other leg. Final thing was the knee. Now, if you remember this one, you can do it sitting on a sofa, it might be easier. Or if you've got the flexibility, sit on the floor. Take your outside arm, hug underneath your thigh. Take your top arm, put it on top of your thigh. So just grip it with your hand. And then to start with, we kept the heel on the floor, pulled the toes up, and just realise that we can rotate the shin while the thigh stays still. And then we did a bit of movement with it, so we rotated it in, straightened it out of it, rotated it out, pull it in, rotate, straighten, rotate out, and you can do the other way, rotate out, straighten, rotate in, pull in. You don't fully straighten the knee, because when you fully straighten the knee, you lose all rotation. So it's kind of soft to about there-ish. And then repeat on the other leg. That's pretty much articulated every joint in your body. So a really good little habit to get into. Remember, no pain on the closing angle of the joints. So if it was a neck, I should feel a stretch there and no pinch there. If it's a shoulder, I should feel some length here, but no pinch around the back. That just tells us that the tissue's not allowing that to happen. So just avoid that by making it a bit smaller. If you can't avoid it, just leave it out, give us a call. But apart from that, enjoy. Try and isolate it all to the specific joints and take that as a daily practice. That should really help.